know you suffer from stage fright. Never ever venture onto a stage unprepared, for a bad experience can have a long-lasting impact. Stage fright is a psychological problem, and it is caused by negative thoughts lingering at the back of your mind. Since it is not possible to banish negative thoughts at one go, this issue needs to be handled delicately. There is no easy solution, and the road can be a long one. However, perseverance will pay off, and anyone willing to take this journey can become a better individual, and in the process, improve their presentation and public speaking skills far beyond their wildest dreams. When it comes to stage fright, negative thoughts can occur for a number of reasons. A few of them are: 1. We may not have a high opinion of our abilities. We tend to think that we may make a mess of ourselves if we make a presentation. In other words, we tend to focus more on what could go wrong than what can be done right. 2nd, we are often more worried about how others may perceive us for our actions. When we think this way, we focus more on how to make other people like our presentation or speech, rather than be ourselves and do our best when we step on stage. Besides these issues, often a bad experience on stage in the distant past can come back to haunt us whenever the next opportunity to present on stage arises. There could be other reasons, and we can go on looking for them forever. The point is that you need to find a solution to overcome this stage fright. The best way to get rid of this problem is to nip it in the bud. If you think that you have this problem, think about why you could be afraid of stage. As you start thinking, note down the points where you think you could go wrong during a presentation. Once you have written down your potential weaknesses, try to identify the root cause of these issues and start working on them. Another way to tackle the problem is to pretend that there will be no audience for your presentation. When you shut the audience out of your mind, you are your only audience. Now, are you afraid of yourself? If the answer to this question is no, simply practice your presentation. If the answer to this question is yes, prepare a script or story and practice by first telling yourself a story. Do it a few times, and you will start feeling better. After this exercise, record your presentation. As you listen to, or even better, watch your recorded presentation, you will discover what your shortcomings are. Start working on them one by one. Now you can start letting the audience in one by one. How do you do this? Remember, when you shut the audience out of your mind, your only audience is you. You don't see yourself presenting yet. Now it is time to let yourself in as a member of the audience. How do you do this? Well, you can practice this by staging your presentation in front of a mirror. Now, you have yourself performing in front of you. It will be uncomfortable at first, and you may notice your lurking fears starting to manifest. But why do you care? It is only you that you are presenting to. The worst outcome of this exercise is you will embarrass yourself in front of your mirror image. And if you do, so be it. Keep practicing this way. This can be a painful process, but it will help you watch yourself in live action and add a new dimension to your self-critique. Do not spend more than a few days on this exercise, and do not spend all your time on it. Practice every day and do it at random times without setting any specific schedule for it. When you set a time of day for this exercise, then just before your scheduled time of practice, you may start thinking a lot of negative thoughts, which may create a psychological barrier that inhibits your performance. However, if you practice at random as an impromptu exercise, the chances are you will practice with a free mind, for you will not have the opportunity to think about it in advance. This will help you improve quickly. After a few days, you will notice that you are no longer uncomfortable presenting in front of a mirror and that you are no longer embarrassing yourself. Now is the time to give your presentation to an audience. Request that your friends or family watch you perform, but be careful about who you ask initially. Start by calling in the ones who have your best interests at heart. They will encourage you as you fumble, and they will do everything they can to help you improve. Initially, you may face a few hiccups, but your confidence will start growing as you start performing in front of your friends. As you continue practicing, in time, you will get rid of your fear that you might freeze during your act on stage. As an additional measure, and to give you the real-time feel, ask your friends to make faces at you and comment on your performance as you perform in front of them. This gives you practice performing in front of a hostile audience. It is unlikely that you will face such a situation when you make your actual presentation, but the more different scenarios you simulate during your practice sessions, the more effective you will become at your presentations. Think of different issues that might give you stage fright and practice to work on those issues. As you continue to work with others and incorporate their suggestions and constructive criticism into your self-training, you will notice remarkable improvement in your performance, and with it, a lessening of your stage fright. Further, you will notice that the issues that made you nervous when you started this exercise are no longer problems. With continued practice and without overdoing it, you will be raring to go, and the psychological barrier in your mind will simply fade away. Whenever your mind goes back to a bad performance, do anything to distract yourself. You should approach the next speech after a bad one as if it is your first speech and treat it as an opportunity to make a mark for yourself.